Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're exploring a massive vulnerability right at the heart of our modern world, and more importantly, the mind-bending science that's stepping up to fix it. Think about it. Our entire global infrastructure relies heavily on a system that's actually incredibly fragile. I'm talking about GPS. But what if we didn't need it? What if we could navigate with flawless precision by tapping into the very fabric of the quantum realm? Let's dive in. Now ask yourself, what if your aircraft, ship, drone, or spacecraft could know exactly where it was even after GPS was completely switched off? Picture this for a second. You've got a massive cargo ship navigating a contested strait, or a military aircraft flying into a zone where every single satellite signal is suddenly jammed. Right now, that's a full-blown crisis. But with the tech we're going to unpack today, that vehicle literally wouldn't even flinch. It would just keep going, perfectly on course without a single satellite ping. Which brings us to Section 1, when GPS goes dark. We're going to start by looking at exactly why our current navigation systems are so precariously fragile. So there's a pretty stark contrast between how we navigate today and how we're going to navigate tomorrow. Right now, we rely heavily on external GPS signals. And don't get me wrong, GPS is brilliant, but at the end of the day, it's an external radio broadcast. Those signals traveling all the way from space to your device are incredibly weak, which makes them highly vulnerable. They can be easily jammed by cheap, low-cost emitters. Or worse, they can be spoofed. That's where a bad actor broadcasts a fake signal to trick a ship or a drone into thinking it's somewhere else entirely. Plus, GPS just can't penetrate deep underwater or underground. Now, on the flip side, internal quantum sensing is entirely self-contained. It doesn't need to ping a satellite. It's totally passive, so it doesn't broadcast any signals that could give away your location. And because it relies purely on the internal physics of atoms locked inside the vehicle, it is physically impossible to jam. So, how do we actually pull this off? Let's pivot from the macro-scale problem of satellites up in space to the microscopic solution down on Earth. Section 2, the quantum compass. Okay, to really understand how a quantum compass works, we first have to wrap our heads around superposition. In our everyday classical world, things are in one place at one time, right? But down at the quantum level, the rules totally change. Superposition is this wild phenomenon where tiny particles like atoms can exist in multiple states or even multiple positions at the exact same time until they're measured. We're literally taking this weird atomic behavior and using it as a hypersensitive physical measurement tool. And there's a fantastic quote from researchers Allison Cayley and Andrew Greentree that perfectly illustrates this. They say, "Imagine tossing a coin. In the classical world, the coin is either heads or tails while in the air. However, in the quantum world, the coin can be both heads and tails simultaneously until measured." It's definitely a bit of a brain bender, but this ability to be in two states at once is exactly what allows quantum sensors to probe their environment with a level of precision that classical sensors just absolutely cannot match. So the big question is, how do we turn that quantum coin toss into a working compass? Well, it all comes down to the mechanics of something called atom interferometry. Here's how it works. First, you take a cloud of rubidium atoms and, this sounds counterintuitive, you blast them with lasers to cool them to near absolute zero. This basically freezes them in place. Second, you pulse them with lasers again to push those atoms into that superposition state we just talked about. Third, the wave functions of these atoms are split and guided down separate physical paths. And finally, you recombine them. When they come back together, their wave functions interfere with one another. If the vehicle carrying the sensor has rotated or accelerated even a microscopic fraction of a degree, it shifts that interference pattern. By reading that tiny shift, the device can calculate angular velocity and motion with truly breathtaking accuracy. Now that we have this ultra-precise atomic measurement tool, how does it actually fix our navigation problem? Let's move on to Section 3, navigating by atoms. You see, when GPS goes down today, vehicles fall back on classical inertial navigation systems, or INS. These use traditional gyroscopes and accelerometers to track movement from a known starting point. But they have a fatal flaw. They drift. Even the absolute best, top-tier military-grade systems accumulate tiny errors with every single measurement. Over time, a submarine relying on a classical INS might drift off course by over a kilometer a day. But a quantum-enhanced INS, it doesn't just replace the classical system. It acts as a flawless, highly accurate reset button. Because quantum properties are absolute and literally do not degrade over time, feeding that quantum data into a classical system stops the drift dead in its tracks. We're talking about a system offering up to 50 times better stability. I know. This all sounds like pure science fiction. But take a look at this. This is a portable nitrogen vacancy, or NV, magnetometer built by Phaser Quantum. This isn't just lab theory anymore, and it's not some massive machine taking up an entire laboratory floor. It's a compact physical device that uses atom-like defects in diamond lattices to measure magnetic fields with unbelievable accuracy. The tech is already here. And here is what happens when you take that kind of sensor out into the real world. This is a trajectory map from an actual long-range flight trial in Australia. See those wide green circles wrapping around the blue line? That is the massive, ever-growing margin of error you get when you rely purely on a classical inertial navigation system. Over a 104-hour, 1,000-kilometer journey. The vehicle basically loses track of where it is. Now trace that incredibly tight red line running right down the middle. That is the trajectory when the system is aided by the quantum magnetometer. It achieved a staggering 50 times reduction in navigational error. Those error circles are so small they virtually disappear. Which brings us to a really fascinating application of all this. Section 4, mapping Earth's gravity and magnav. Because quantum sensors aren't just for measuring a vehicle's internal movement. They can actually be used to passively read the planet itself. Let's define gravnav, or gravity-aided navigation. So the Earth's crust isn't totally uniform, right? Deep underground, you have massive variations in density, things like ore bodies, geological structures, underwater trenches. And these variations create microscopic differences in the local gravitational pull. Well, a quantum gravity gradiometer is so incredibly sensitive that it can literally feel these tiny changes. With GravNav, a vehicle compares the real-time gravitational anomalies it feels against a preloaded quantum gravity map. It silently matches the terrain beneath it to figure out exactly where it is on the globe. It's completely passive. And honestly, this is such a profound tactical advantage that the US government actually placed strict export controls on mobile gravity gradiometers under arms regulations. It's that powerful. So who exactly needs a jam-proof, gravity-reading atomic compass? Let's get out of the lab and look at Section 5, the real-world applications. The real takeaway here is that quantum sensing secures operations in extreme environments where using GPS is either physically impossible or just way too dangerous. Think about submarines. They have to navigate silently for months under Arctic sea ice where radio waves just cannot reach them. A quantum sensor lets them prowl around without ever needing to surface for a GPS fix. Or think about military aircraft and UAVs trying to hold course in contested, heavily jammed airspace. Then you have spacecraft out in deep space that require pinpoint precision, or autonomous vehicles exploring deep underground mines and undersea resources. For all of these scenarios, this technology provides unjammable autonomy. Okay, but before we go declaring GPS totally obsolete, we definitely need a reality check. Let's look at Section 6, the reality check. I mean, why isn't this tech in your smartphone right now? We really need to walk through these engineering hurdles because it's super important to separate future capabilities from what you can buy off the shelf today. First up is environmental sensitivity. The very thing that makes quantum sensors so amazing, their extreme sensitivity to tiny changes, also makes them incredibly vulnerable to outside noise. Just a stray magnetic field or a slight shift in temperature can completely ruin the measurement. Second, we have SWaP-C limitations. That stands for size, weight, power, and cost. A lot of these atomic interferometers still require bulky lasers and near absolute zero cooling systems. Shrinking all of that down to fit on a small drone while keeping the cost anywhere near reasonable is a massive engineering headache. And third, integration. Quantum sensors and classical systems essentially speak different languages. Seamlessly fusing their data together into one unified navigation algorithm, it's incredibly difficult. So, with all that in mind, what does the actual timeline for adoption look like? Let's move to our final section, Section 7, the hybrid future. This is where we need to dispel the biggest myth surrounding this whole topic. The hype will tell you that quantum sensors are going to drop out of the sky tomorrow and instantly replace every GPS satellite and traditional gyroscope on Earth. But the reality? Today's quantum sensors just can't function entirely on their own. They don't update fast enough to fly a fighter jet by themselves. The real tangible breakthrough here is a hybrid fusion. Future vehicles are going to use a classical inertial system to track all those rapid, sudden movements, a quantum sensor to act as this undriftable anchor that constantly corrects the classical system, and map matching, like GravNav, to confirm absolute position. It's a collaborative ecosystem, not a zero-sum game. Which leaves us with one final, massive question. Could quantum sensors make GPS-denied navigation practical at unprecedented accuracy, permanently shifting the geopolitical and technological balance of power? Think about it. We've built our entire modern world on a fragile, jammable satellite signal. When the ability to navigate flawlessly becomes something you can lock away securely inside the hull of a submarine or the nose cone of a drone, totally immune to any outside interference, the rules of global transportation, defense, and autonomy fundamentally change. The compass of the future isn't going to point north, it's going to point to the quantum state. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.